Still waters, oh my soul. Still these waters, so I may know. Still waters, let me be pure reflection of love, healing peace. Still waters, quiet my mind. Still these waters, so I may find. Still waters, reminding me I am love, I am light, healing peace. Still waters, oh my soul. Still these waters, so I may know. Still waters, let me be pure reflection of love, healing peace. Still waters, quiet my mind. Still waters, quiet my mind. Still these waters, so I may find. Still waters, reminding me I am love, I am light, healing peace. I am love, I am light, healing peace. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, I will share, I will share, will share, I will share, I will share this love. I will share, share, I will share, I will share, share, I will share, share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love.
There I am. So wonderful. Thank you all very, very much. So without further ado, I really don't have to introduce and read the bio of this person because we already know he's our interim minister and he's here for this Sunday and next Sunday. So please welcome Dr. Bob.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great to be here. You hardy souls out here in this snow. Of course, down where I was staying, there's no snow, but up here looks like we got some. So glad you decided to come up the hill and make this a gathering day. Oh, so you saw me do the last minute run to the closet, right? That's because I've had a kind of comedy of errors for the last 24 hours. I left my bag, my satchel, where I had dinner last night and had a wonderful time with that dinner, but it was fabulous. And I didn't know until I got back to where I'm staying that I didn't have it with me. And I thought, well, I don't need anything out of it. So I said, I'll come get it tomorrow, or you can bring it to me. And I saw they brought it. However, I realized later there was not a pen or pencil anywhere to be found. That's what I realized at 5 o'clock this morning, and I wasn't going out in the snow to look for a pen or a pencil. So I created my last minute scribbles for my talk, and I thought I had it all printed out, and then I just looked down in my little notes again and went, oh dear, I left out some of the quotes I want to do. So this will be without the quotes unless I have 5 seconds here if I can talk and open it at the same time. And I've never been able to multitask, so we'll see if that happens. But it's okay. What I have learned is it's not about the mistakes you make. It's about what you do with them. And some of the best things that I have ever had happen in my life sometimes have been as a result of a mistake. I was all prepared, my wife and I, to separate and divorce and go off in a different direction from each other. We were doing it amicably, with ease and with simplicity. And lo and behold, we found out we had a little one on the way. So we changed our minds and did not do that for another 7 or 8 years. And, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Being a dad is one of the best parts of my life. Being a grandpa is the only thing better because you can give them back. It's so great. Can't do that with your kids. And most of the time I didn't want to do that. Occasionally, but not often. So, so it's mistakes. So we'll see what comes out of this one because right now we're not going to do the quotes. Today, our topic is interbeing. Now, that's a term I had not heard before. You may have, because your former minister was very much a student of Thich Nhat Hanh. I have read much of his stuff, but I have not ever been in his presence or done any of the workshops and things. So when I saw this in the suggestions from CSL, the larger organization, all of the centers that participate in this are doing the same themes on the same days throughout this year. And so today that is one of the themes, this idea of interbeing. interbeing. And as I read about it and I thought about it and I meditated on it, what I realized is that interbeing is not a new idea for us by any means. It is just oneness on steroids. Now, if you know oneness, it's a word we throw around all the time. Well, it's the oneness. It's the oneness. Oh, I know, I can't figure out how that person fits in it, but it's the oneness. It's all good. I can't figure out how that would make a difference. It's the oneness. Well, the interesting thing about interbeing is it gives it a different quality. It takes it out of the up here somewhere, which is wonderful. I live up there a lot. That's why I don't have my notes with me. And it's a great place to be, and it's a great place to hang out. But we got to get down here where the snow is, where our feet are on the ground, and get into the earth to get that inter-oneness or that interbeingness. And he also talked about inter-artis. Where our inter-are are within us, that we are, and we are here, and we are grounded, and we are very much a part of all of this stuff. Holmes says, you can't really be happy by yourself. You can't really be happy unless you are well connected and in flow with other people, unless you're recognizing that the oneness includes all of them. And he says, and you can't resist that idea. Most days I'm fine with that. Some days I'm not. Some days I read things in the news that makes me want to not be one with anybody in the news story. Until I realized the biggest part of the news story is to scare me, make me mad, so I'll buy another newspaper or read another article. And it doesn't mean all those things aren't still true. But in interbeingness, I must also recognize that those people, whoever they may be, and we all have them, whatever side of all the political stuff you're on, I don't really care. What I care about is that we get past that into the interbeingness of life. Because that's where the juice is. That's where the happiness is. That's where the joy really is. Thich Nhat Hanh says that the earth is a single organism. We are all part of it as a single cell. We are connected. What you do affects me. What I do affects you. Right down to what I think about. We all know the butterfly effect, if you saw that movie or read those books. The idea that what you think about right here, right now, can affect the person sitting next to you. Have you ever walked in a room full of angry people? Not your family, but, angry people. Maybe your family, I don't know. But you walk in and what you get is this immediate awareness. And you can't even tell for sure where the anger started or who did it, right? But everybody's feeling it. And if you're not careful, you will too, real quick. And so that's why people teach all sorts of ways to shield ourselves and make sure our feelings are coming from the inside out, not the outside in. That's part of that organism. That's how we are connected, he says. He goes on to say by symbiosis. So it's not a conscious thing. Symbiotic relationship is that we're all dependent on each other and we're all connected. And interbeingness says, if you weren't who you are, the people around you wouldn't be who they are. And the people around you are who they are, and they help you be who you are. And it's all connected like a web, a great web. And it's a fun idea to think about till it's not. Until you bump up against stuff. In 1936, Ernest Holmes wrote a book called Can I Talk to God? Now, I know the G word's not popular around here, and it's not popular in most CSL places, so just think good orderly direction. Or that was mine for the GOD word when I first came in. My first experience with that was having a moment where I was so angry and frustrated with a partner at the time, and we were at the beach, and I walked away because I couldn't stand it anymore, and I just was out, and I kept hearing in my back of my head someone talking from a 12-step program about turn it over, just turn it over to God. Seagull sitting on a post. All right, Seagull, you're God. You take all this anger and frustration and do something. I swear to you, the seagull squawked and flew away. And I did just what you're doing. I started laughing. I started laughing at the seagull. I started laughing at myself. I started laughing and finding that joy of life that is inside and waiting for all of us all the time. Yeah, interconnectedness, whatever you call it. But Holmes wrote at that time in 1936, which is between World War I and World War II, which is actually during the buildup to World War II. He wrote that that's where he wrote the quote I tried to do earlier about happiness, that to be happy, to be joyful. And then he goes on to say, we live in a time of great change and great challenge. And we're on the cusp of a new world. That's 1936. He felt it then, and it was true then. Look at what's happened to the world since 1936. We have made great gains in so many areas. He also had a cautionary word at that point and said, we have used the resources of the planet to the point where we are now at a cusp of either creating something greater and living above and caring for it and supporting it, or destroying ourselves with it, the resources. And I don't know about you, but I feel that. So what do we do? How do we live? I have a story that I didn't get to tell a few weeks ago, and I was going to. I have a bunch of stories, but this story is really special to me because it's a story, it's a whole lot about life and how to live it. You may have heard it before. I know at least one of you in the room has, and it's the rabbi's gift. Well, in response to the feelings about Christianity and some of those other things about here in the room, I'm going to shift it just a little bit. I'm going to call it the pagan's gift. See, there was this religious science center that had been around a long time, and it had just began to deteriorate. People lost interest. Things fell apart, didn't seem to be so relevant anymore, and there was a lot of grumpiness. Not like this group at all, because I don't experience that here. But they had dwindled down until there were about 6 people left. Angry, sad, scared. They met every week. They meditated together. They did treatment together. They sang together, but it just wasn't going anywhere. And they had this wonderful property in the woods. And they really did in the story. I'm not making that part up. You guys do too. And what they discovered was that there was somebody camping down there in the woods, and would do that every so often. And they were like, well, they could feel it because they had meditated together for so long, and they had this deep awareness of what was happening in the land, and that deep awareness of the infinite within them, as we all do when we do that kind of work. And they just kept feeling it. And finally they said, we may have to close this place soon, but let's go see if whoever that is down there in the woods has anything to teach us. So the lead practitioner went down the hill and found the tent and the place, and found a very elderly pagan down there doing some ritual and some work, and setting up the recognition of the earth and all that goes into that beautiful teachings, those beautiful teachings of paganism. And he shared with them that, our group is about to die up there on the hill, and we don't know what else to do. We thought I'd ask you. You got any ideas? The pagan said, no, our group is kind of doing the same thing, and started to cry, and they started to cry. And so the 2 old guys are crying on each other's shoulders, and went on for like an afternoon, and they prayed together, and they cried together, and they didn't know what to do. And as they're getting ready finally to leave, he says, well, thank you for your support and consolation. I just wish you had some answers for me. And he says, well, I don't, but there's one thing I know for sure. Somebody in your group is God. Somebody in your group is the infinite personified. Someone in your group is the Messiah. And the lead practitioner kind of went back up the hill and said, well, the others were like, well, what did you learn? What did you find out? Not really much of anything. We just kind of treated and prayed together. And he said something funny at the end about one of us being God, or one of us being the infinite, or one of us being the Messiah. And they all kind of looked at each other and like, Well, and so they went away to their regular days of what they were doing, and one of them was thinking about maybe it's the lead practitioner, maybe it's Sarah or Joseph or whoever he is or she is, because they're the lead, they're the one out front. That's probably God. That's probably the infinite showing up to give us an answer and a way to be that's different. And then they thought to themselves, well, or maybe, I don't know. It could be. I'm trying to think of a name that I know is down in the room. Susan. It could be Susan. Susan's grumpy. I mean, she's grumpy and so hard to get along with, and we just sometimes want to shake her. Can't be her. But then they thought some more and said, maybe, could be. Because one of the things about Susan, she's grumpy, but man, when she stands up and says something is as it should, how it should be, she's always right. We don't like it because she's grumpy about it, but she's always right. Maybe she's the infinite among us. Could be Harry. Harry's like just kind of not there. He's there, but he's not there. He's just disappeared. Don't see him most of the time. And yet when you're really hurting, Harry just kind of appears next to you. And he's standing there going, hi, what do you need? How can I help? Maybe that's God. Maybe it's me. Oh my God, what if I'm God and I don't even know it? Well, how would I treat myself differently? How would I treat you differently? Oh, you can't be me. And so they go on. And as they continue to meet and they really talk about this strange communication, but they think a lot about it, and they begin to treat one another as if they are who they say they are, who the pagan told them they were. And the energy around them begins to shift and change. And it's not long before a few more people are showing up to hang out in the woods and to enjoy walking through the trails and to see the place. And sure enough, young families start showing up, bringing their kids. And then some of those youngsters actually come and join this bunch of old practitioners who are just hanging out. And it begins to shift and grow and change. Now, that story is about a bunch of monks and a rabbi, but it's true for all of us. We say it around here all the time. We are the expression of the divine. The divine moves through us. It's as us, in us, through us, as us, not as something outside of us, but it is who we are. We say it all the time, to the point where I think we lose the power of it if we're not careful. Because you see, that divine beingness, that God, that Messiah, you know what a Messiah is? It's the anointed one. It's the one that comes to tell you the truth and to wake you up. Might be you. Might be the person sitting next to you. And the thing that began to emerge out of that was so potent and so powerful was extraordinary respect. They began to have extraordinary respect for one another. Whatever they look, whoever they were, whatever their outside appearance, the inner appearance is what they saw. And they began to look at each other in that way. And automatically and without hesitation, the thing began to grow and change. And I share that story with you because I think that's what interbeing is really about. It's the recognition that we all have, and we teach it in the center, and you guys live it. I see it all the time. I've seen it since I've been here. I've celebrated it, and I'm enjoying it with you. And yet we can always grow more. We can always see more. And what the hardest thing to do is to see those people on the other side, the ones that we make other, whether it's because of politics, whether it's because of any of the things we other people. You know, we even other people sometimes because they're slow. I other people driving a lot, you know? I was going to talk about little Jack that comes out at those times, but we won't. I don't have time now. They're waving their hands back there, and that's great. They told me just to keep going, so I will. I want to share with you one last little story that's connected, and it's the wild rose. And I have to read part of this, I think. Yes. If someone says that you're not normal, say thank you. If someone says that what you're doing isn't normal, say naturally. And my insert on this at that point is, you know what normal is, right? It's a setting on a washing machine. That's all it is. The wild rose knows that no one rose is the same as another. She doesn't try to bloom in a neat row according to a schedule. She doesn't open and close according to who walks by. She trusts her timing, her blooms. She trusts her timing, her blooms, and her wild abandon. She is resilient. She knows who she is. The wild rose knows her true, unique nature, and she wants you to remember yours too. She knows what makes you wild and what makes you free. That is what's kept us contained that's causing us harm. I want to read that one again. What's kept us contained is what's caused us harm. That our diverse, unique nature is what's needed now more than ever. Oneness, interbeingness is not about sameness. It is about you becoming the truest to yourself individual that you can be. Bringing that to the top, letting yourself bloom, finding out. The bloom might not last long. You might have another whole bloom there that has something to do. It might even be a different color. But you won't know until you let it happen. And that's the kind of living that you deserve, and you're already doing it. I'm just suggesting that we put a little more fertilizer in there and bloom a little more. So do that, enjoy it, love it, because you're wonderful. So am I, and so it is. So join me, if you will, in a few moments. And I invite you to let your mind drift for a bit. So take a nice deep breath and let it go. Think of the things that you care about the most. What are you most passionate about? What are you most passionate about in yourself? What do you love about yourself? And what do you love about the people sitting on each side of you? And allow your mind to drift from there to those folks you may have heard about or may have in your life who are in pain, who feel hurt, who are afraid. Perhaps because of who they are, perhaps because of where they live, perhaps because of someone they lost. And allow yourself to reach out in love in your mind and in passion for their well-being and their best care. Because I recognize right here and now that I and each of us are the power of God itself, Spirit itself, life itself, whatever you want to call it. showing up individualized, unique, and wonderful. And I today choose to use that power to bring greater good and greater loving to the people around me and the people in my life. I invite you to join me in that choice. I may not understand it. I may not have any way to put together what's happening in my world today, but I can do one thing. I can love as God loves, as Spirit loves, as the earth loves all of us. And right now, I simply choose that. It's all I have to do today. Just love. And as I do and make that choice, I start paying attention in my walking around world to what's showing up for me, in me, as me, and what moves through me out to others. What is mine to do? What is mine not to do? And as I recognize that the wisdom of the infinite is available to me, in me right now, I can take a deep breath and relax and not worry about it, because I know the things will show up for me that are here for me and for me to do. I step into being myself and my best self. This is the truth. It's my truth. I let it be. And so it is. Thank you. Oh, yes. And as usual, I made a mess. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. What a wonderful message. So now we get to thank you all for your giving. So I'm going to invite our ushers up. Anaria, share your baskets. I'm such the director from up here. I'm in such control. Anyway, want to thank you all for your time, talent, and especially your treasure, because it goes to help achieve so much at this center. So thank you very much.
May you know in your bones that this earth is your home. May you feel in your soul. May you know in your bones that this earth is your home. May you feel that. May you know in your bones that this earth is your home. May you feel in your soul. May you know that this earth is your home. May you feel that you know in your bones that this earth is my home. May I feel in my soul I am worthy and whole. May I know in that this earth is my home. May I feel that. May I know in my bones that this earth is my home. May I feel in my soul I am worthy and whole. May I know in my bones that this earth is my home. May I feel that I belong. May we know in our bones that this earth is our home. May we feel in our souls we are worthy and whole. May we know in our bones that this earth is our home. May we feel that we belong. May we feel that we belong. May we feel that we belong.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I know. Love the beat. All right. How about some announcements? Yay. Right? You all want to know what's going on. I do. And the first thing that's going on is that we have 2 workshops that are being offered by Dr. Bob. So do you want to speak to those? You're on though.
First of all, before I do that, do you know how gifted you are to have this touch? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's right. Go ahead. I had dinner with him last night, and along with others from the music team, and I heard the history. I got to hear how different people got connected to the center, where we come to. The talent, the gifts, the love they bring to you guys is over the top amazing. They are a big part of what happens here on Sunday morning and what happens in your lives as a result of these amazing songs that they write and they bring forward and they sing. And they're not all here to hear this, but thank you. I can't honor you enough. Thank you so much. So today we have, I noticed it stopped snowing. Thank you. You guys were all talking about snow and snow and snow last time I was here, and it never snows. And I thought, from your mouth to God's ears, and here we are. How many are planning to stay for today's workshop? Looks like we have a room. Okay, we're going to do the workshop. So I wasn't sure, given the weather, whether you needed to get down the hill and back to your homes. If you really need to do that, go ahead. We will do a follow-up sometime in the next week or two online, so that you can have the workshop experience and get your 2 cents in. So those of you who attend the workshop, the contents will be kind of kept between us to start with. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at old story, new story. What isn't working, what's working that we want to keep going, and what's brand new that we want to do that we haven't ever done before as a community. So that's where we're going to start. I'm going to share a little bit about your vision and mission and some of the statements there. And then we will do a process together where everyone gets a voice. And it will be a voice without your name on it. You get a chance to speak anonymously. So you say, how are we going to do that in the room? Well, I got a plan. The next weekend, next Sunday, we will do another workshop, which will be a healing service on the issues of our own personal healing and how that affects the whole group. And the consciousness of the group is dependent on the individual consciousness of all of its members. We all contribute to it, from the most joyful, happy part of it to the most painful, sad part of it. All of that goes into the mix. And so what we want to do is heal as much of this as we can and help you in your own personal life in the process, so that when you're ready to bring in a new minister, you bring them in on as strong a plane as possible, so that you attract what matches. Because that's what happens when you look for a minister. They match who you are and what your needs are and what your requirements are. So we want you to be in as strong a place as possible. That's what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks. So that's next week's workshop. Today is more about, let's kind of just get a feel for where we are and help me get a feel for where you are and where we're going to go from here. And I'm talking way too long, so thank you. Good. Yeah. Yeah, come on.
This is important work that we're just starting now, but we've been working on it for a while. So those who are staying, yay. Next up is signing up for Earth Steward communication. Basically, this is for their legislative action opportunities. You receive emails, notifications about what's going on down in Olympia with anything that's dealing with the environment and all that stuff. So if you're interested in signing up, you can see Steve back there, and he'll be at the Ask Me desk, right? All right, fab. All right. Next, we have Spirit at Works Breakfast. And guess who's speaking? Dr. Bob. You get more Dr. Bob. How great is that? So, and his talk is going to be Business is Business, which, it's not. What are you talking about? Oh, beyond the laws of attraction, the interplay of spiritual principles in business. Well, business is business, you know?
Same thing.
What are you going to do? It's all the same. It's all one, right? So anyway, please attend. It's at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. I just absolutely butchered that one, didn't I? Anyway, so next we have, anybody who's interested in Board of Trustees. The nominating committee is taking names, taking people who are interested in serving on the board. They will be at the Ask Me desk for the next 3 Sundays to answer any of your questions. I think it's Steve and Mary Lee will be there. And so if anybody is interested in serving on the Board of Trustees, it's a great, great way to be of service to the community. And if you have any questions, you have any interest, whatever, go see Steve, go see Mary Lee at the Ask Me desk. They'll answer all your questions about what the requirements are. There's a variety of different requirements. You have to be a member. You have to have at least 1 class under your belt. You have to be able to take classes during your tenure on the board. It just shows an additional step forward and a step deeper within serving your community. So if anybody's called to do that, please see them at the Ask Me desk. So we're also on Monday, February 17th at 2 p.m. We're doing our Care Cookie dough making party here. And so if anybody wants to get ingredients, bring them in before the 17th so that we can start doing our high protein cookies for our unhoused people who are in the Bellingham area. Please feel free to do that. You can sign up at the Ask Me desk. There's a lot going on at the Ask Me desk, my God. And then, drum roll please, we have the Community Song Circle. So you want to talk to that?
Yeah, I just want to let you all know that that's still happening every month, and it's now regularly on the 3rd Sunday of every month from 6:30 to 8. And it has been such a great group of folks showing up, both in our community, but also it's open to anybody. So please do let people know about it. And it just ends up feeling like honey in my heart. We end up having just these songs are meant to be songs that are taught kind of call and echo style. And so you don't have to be a musician or a singer to catch them. You show up. I lead songs. Also, I invite folks who come to be a part of the circle to bring a song if they want to share a song. And it's been a really awesome way to connect with others and to just lift our voices together and learn some songs that then we can take into the world throughout our week and help us feel grounded. So I hope you'll join me.
Thank you. That's great. So finally, we're participating with Fred Meyer. We all know Fred Meyer. I plan on stopping there and getting food for the inclement weather afterwards. So you can sign up with Fred Meyer and they will donate money to us. Isn't that interesting? And it's all on.
There's no slide for it. It doesn't look like.
Huh?
I don't think there's a slide for it. So everyone was looking.
Yeah.
You're just ad-libbing.
I just sort of noticed that.
Yes.
So anyway, if you have an app on your phone, Fred Meyer app, you can link the Fred Meyer app to CSL Bellingham, and they will donate money to us. It's an easy way to do it, right? So finally, and also weather at the center. If you find out Sunday service is canceled due to inclement weather, go to our website. It will tell you. All right? So why don't we all stand, if we can, and we'll just sing our way out.
Anything is possible when you believe. Anything is possible when you believe. You can make a mountain move when you believe. Yeah, you can make a mountain move when you believe. And don't you know that you can change your life when you believe? Don't you know that you can change your life when you believe in yourself? In yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe, oh yeah, we're gonna make a miracle make a miracle. When you believe in everything you want, you got. When you believe, yeah, everything you want, you got. When you believe in yourself, in yourself. You believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself. When you believe. All right. Now we can take a minute to just like turn to each other. This is the cheesy part of our service. But I don't think there's not a time better than now to really be coming together and believing in each other and believing in the power of the collective. And so if you all do me a favor and connect with each other. I believe in me. That's right, I believe in you. I believe in you. We believe in each other. Sing it out now. There ain't nothing we can do. Nah, 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 nah. Said I believe in me. I believe in me. And I believe in you. Do you mean it? We believe in each other. There ain't nothing we can do. No, anything is possible when you believe. Anything is possible when you believe in yourself. In yourself. When you believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself. Yes. And I believe in this CSL community, and I believe in the world. And take this love and share it with you, with everyone this week. And we'll see you again soon.